Hey guys, what's going on? We got another PvP video, but as you can tell, we are doing a battleground. This is part of the Battleground Blitz system. It was actually kind of fun. I was gonna try and do arenas, but we were trying to queue some threes, and we got like 2 matches within like 30 minutes or 40 minutes or whatever. It took forever, and it was like the same team back to back, so it was kind of like a bust. And queued up for a solo shuffle and sat there for 40 minutes, and I was like, "Okay, give up for this." And then I was like, "Oh, look, solo queue RBGs," and I queued it up. 5 minutes in, get a queue. Heck yeah, let's go. So that's what we got. And I normally talk about the arena and all of that, but instead, since we're so close to the War Within dropping, comes out next week. Next Thursday is early access. So excited. I'll be playing it until I hit 80, and then we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, so if you didn't know, this week Enhancement got its true talent changes. And this gives us a broader range on what talent choices we can take for both Elementalist and Storm. Molten Assault got reduced to 1 rank. Improved Maelstrom got reduced to 1 rank, and the Ancestral Wolf Bones got reduced to 1 rank. And what that means is now we can stretch out our talent choices a lot more, with Storm being able to take Molten Assault even to get into Hailstorm or Fire Nova, and also just give that extra spread of Flame Shock, which is going to be pretty useful with Primordial Wave and Stormbringer. But at the same time, it does just give you an extra button, and Improved Maelstrom gives you a free extra talent point to spend on whether that's going to be an AoE effect or not, anyways. And the Ancestral Wolf Bones, that being reduced by 1 rank, gives you the option to take Elemental Assault at 2 ranks and Legacy of the Frost Witch at 2 ranks, which is pretty huge for Storm. And as for Elementalist, you just get 3 extra talent choices to just spend, which is great. Um, but anyways, for PvP specifically, it's a pretty big change. But also we got a lot of our talents back. As you can see, I have 2 charges of Elemental Blast back, which is great. But currently in this patch, with the current tier set, you're just primordial waving so much that it doesn't really matter about LE Blast, but like it actually feels pretty good. As you can see, I'm doing a heck of a lot of damage, and how I'm alive, I'm not really sure. I think I gained some sort of shield buff from a chest, and it's just bugged, so I just have infinite health right now. But right now, Enhancement feels really good even without the talent or the hero talents. And I think once the hero talents come into play as well, I think it'll feel even better. I know from playing it a little bit, it does feel good, but I mean, there's still some changes that can come in and, you know, modify how we're going to play. Because the current build on beta is like a half elementalist, half storm, which is really weird, but it works, right? And I know a lot of people, they want to choose one or the other, not kind of like a half and half. But at the same time, you got to work with what you get. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that doesn't mean the other builds are going to be garbage or anything like that. So, but I recently did some Mythic Plus as well. And I know a lot of people hate the Elementalist style with Hailstorm and stuff like that. So instead of Hailstorm, I played with Fire Nova, and it actually felt really, really good. But it's more or less leaning into playing with the current tier set than it is playing as Enhancement Shaman. So it definitely will take into a fact that our tier set will go away as soon as you hit 71. But currently, if you are lucky to it, try and play around it. I know playing Storm is what people want to do, which is just fine, but you do have to play with Primordial Wave just to make it viable. But as for damage outputs and everything like that, um, Lightning Bolt doing a lot of damage, which is good. I didn't really read up on all the changes, but there was one big factor is that our elemental blast had actually been nerfed by 25%. As to why it was, I really don't know, but I'm glad to see that they reverted it. I believe I remember seeing that change in the early beta notes, and I guess it just never made it out of there. So as to why, I don't know. But yeah, so Elemental Blast is actually back doing some damage rather than just doing nothing at all, which is great. Stone Bulwark Totem, if you didn't know, it used to be a 2-minute cooldown. It's now a 3-minute cooldown, but has a much more effective defensive power. Meaning, I think it got like a 25 or 50% buff to the shield it gives you. So it's just taking into the factor that it increased its cooldown by a minute, but it got a power up, which is nice to see. But yeah, Healing Surge also got a buff, so your healing is much more efficient in self-healing, especially since Swirling Maelstrom is like a huge priority for enhancement. The PvP talent, where if you spend Maelstrom, you heal yourself, you are actually healing for quite a significant amount, which is great to see. But other than that, things haven't like taken a total shift, but you're going to notice enhancement feels a lot smoother and a lot nicer to play than it has for the past couple weeks. I know even like the PvE shamans, myself included, it was really like depressing to play enhancement shaman because it did not like it didn't feel as amazing. Like the rotation and stuff didn't change. It's just the damage output did not um showcase, right? You felt like you were doing a lot, you were getting the numbers and stuff like that, but you just the numbers weren't showing up, right? You felt like you were doing everything the exact same, but nothing was there to show for it, unfortunately. But you can see here I went for a 2v1 and got my ass kicked because I didn't use my defensive correctly. If I had used Astral Shift earlier, I think I would have been better off. But yeah, so I know I did a video early on as soon as the patch dropped saying that enhancement felt good in PvP, and it truly it does feel good in PvP. But in that week, like just the damage didn't quite feel good. Defensive quality is great. I think we have just gained a massive increase to defensive quality, and we've also gained a massive increase to our mobility. I know a lot of people are still a bit skeptical. We just gained Feral Lunge, and that's about it. But we also gained Wind Rush Totem to remove snare effects and stuff like that. So those are things you have to keep in mind. And I think we are in a great spot. Although enhancement has never really been a PvP spec, it definitely is getting there, thankfully. And I think in the War Within, we're definitely going to have a solid position for PvP. I really think we're going to be strong. But not like, S tier strong. I think maybe we might actually reach B or low A tier in DPS. As long as, the damage output gets there. That's the important factor for Enhance. We don't have anything else going for us other than our damage output. But yeah, anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on Enhance. I hope you enjoy. I'll put builds in the description for you to export and try them out yourselves, and then let me know your thoughts on everything that Enhance has so far. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Laters!